I am DYANAROZAY, and I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. If you are not a subscriber, please become one. Hit that notification bell too, that way you don't miss any of my videos. I go by DYANAROZAY on all platforms, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. What's up, Supreme Team? Welcome to the channel. Hey, everybody. Hey. Come on in. Welcome. Y'all know the drill, child. If y'all can hear the sound of my voice without the TV, if you can hear the sound of my voice, please let me know by putting your city, your state, your country, your island, your continent, wherever you are from, into the chat. That way I can give y'all a shout out. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. We are here to talk about Heart and Hustle Houston, the finale episode. Come on in, and make sure everybody hit that like button too. Hit the like button, share the video, please, and thank you. Okay, come on in. I see y'all. All right, I see Renee. What's up, Renee? I have my girl Gloria. What's up? Bump up the thumbs up. Thank you. Delois, what's up? Houston, Texas. Cara. Also, Reba from Houston, Texas. Welcome. Come on in. Hey, Queen. Nice to have you. Columbus, Ohio. What's up? Hey, everybody. Welcome to the chat, y'all. I hope y'all had an opportunity to see the show. Okay, what's up, Bama girl? You caught alive. Good. Washington, D.C. is in the house. Welcome, y'all. Yeah, so this was a good one. I enjoyed Saturday night's episode. I hope you all had a chance to watch it. If not, this was the first season of OWN's Heart and Hustle Houston, okay? So it looks like they could franchise it. First season of Heart and Hustle Houston, and it's also available to stream on HBO Max in case anybody missed it, okay? But y'all, we are here. We are here to talk about this finale episode right now, child. So welcome to the chat. I appreciate every single one of y'all for coming in. Let me get my my photo up of the girls. Here we go. So yeah, if y'all have been watching my review faithfully, then y'all know that I already clocked it, okay? Look, N. Johnson said, clocked it. I clocked it 2 episodes ago. I said it right here on my live. I said, baby, this isn't an affair. This isn't a baby out of wedlock. This is something else, because she's already gone through this shit. She's devastated when she talks about this problem. She said that this is something she had already said in the first episode. I've dealt with cheating. I've dealt with a whole lot of shit. But this right here, this is on another level. And she wasn't lying. She was not lying, okay? Come on in. What's up, everybody? Let's see. We got Dallas, Texas. Thank you, Cara. I appreciate you, girl. Yes, you did. Thank you, Bama girl. I sure did. I said 2 episodes ago, I said, this ain't a baby. This isn't cheating. This is something else. And for as much as we love to act like money ain't a thing, okay? Money, well, what? Money, child, when you go broke, it's going to hurt your ass something awful. That is like the worst devastation ever. And the way he did it, okay? Thank you. Come on in. Listen, I'm about to tell y'all, because she did say on the show, she said, baby, we weren't broke. We weren't broke. But what he did, wiped him out, robbed her blind, okay? Listen, I say all the time, every time I hear someone say, oh my God, why would you do that? You know, you can make it, girl. You work your whole life for some shit. And somebody messes your stuff up. Y'all, we got a special guest in the house, okay? Are y'all ready for this? We got a special guest in the house. Let me bring her up. Hold on. I didn't even know. I was like, are you going to come? Let me take this down. Let me get my girl up here. We got Ro.
Hey, y'all.
Ro from Heart and Hustle Houston, girl. Welcome to the chat. I love
you.
Let me see. Do you have your name up? Let me see if I can get your name up here. Everybody should know this. Is your real name Aphrodite?
It's Rozay.
It's Rozay. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was. I know you call yourself Aphrodite on your
You know, like the goddess of love, like kind of mix.
Yes, goddess of love, goddess of nightlife. I love it. So you guys, welcome her into the chat. Hey everybody, hey everybody. So child, this was an excellent finale.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
I'm glad somebody liked it.
I loved it. You guys had a really great season.
Yeah, thank you.
Really did. And I think that all of y'all put in work.
Yes, it was definitely a first experience. I thought I was gonna be ready for it because I'm so used to the cameras following me in nightlife all the time, like taking pictures, and you know, I work with celebrities all the time. I thought I was gonna be ready for it, and yeah, you know.
Awesome. Well, yeah, so thank you so much for joining me for the review. And I hope that, you know, you can give us some of the behind the scenes tea when these scenes were filming out, because we've been waiting to see what was going to happen with Elena and Josh, child. I was like biting my nails, like, what could this be?
You know, we didn't know either. She didn't tell any of us. So we found out when everybody else found out.
Okay. And I know that you guys are all real friends.
Yeah,
so
we're all friends.
You're all real friends. And I was saying this the other day. I said, you guys remind me a lot of, it's a sitcom show. So it's not, you guys are more drama, but of the show Girlfriends, because you guys all really like, you guys all have like dream jobs. Like people wanted the jobs you guys have growing up, but you also are real friends and you're different. And I like the energy y'all bring.
Yeah, you know, everybody didn't know everybody at first because they chose, I think they had like 100 different women they chose each other from, but it just so happened that we kind of knew each other from different, you know, situations of being outsiders. Somebody knew somebody some type of way, so it just ended up working out pretty well.
Okay. Okay, girls. So let's get into it. If we can just walk through the scenes.
Okay.
We're talking about how it, you know, we picked up exactly where we left off with Miss Elena and Josh in their therapy session, child. And then Josh drops the bomb that he lost hundreds of thousands, not 100, but hundreds of thousands of dollars, Elena's hard-earned dollars, because I don't know, I guess he wanted to be the man and thought that he could take her money and turn it into his money.
Honestly, to be honest, I don't. Even to this day, I just feel like it's always been like a sore thing for her. So I never like, you know, me and Chloe are kind of the same when it comes to like asking questions, but certain stuff I'm like, well, girl, I ain't married, so okay. I say that a lot throughout the season. Well, like, I'm not married. I don't
want to put you in any mess with your friend, okay? But I am going to share what I thought happened, because she says this in the scene. But basically, it opens and Josh just says, you know, I ended up putting money into investments, into the stock market, because it was COVID. Elena's the breadwinner. I was curious of what the men did. That was one of the questions I had asked, like the first episode. I was like, do the guys?
He does something like accounting or something like that.
Oh, he was in accounting? Okay. Yeah. So it looks like they were both in the business, but we found out that, you know, Elena had closed her first, I guess, studio, her makeup studio, opened up another one. And she opened it in her name only. And even when she said that, I was like, ooh, why?
See, when I first found out, I was like, girl, you doing your own thing. You want to have it separate from your husband. You want to make it like, you know, you got your own thing going now. I didn't know it had anything to do with that.
Yeah, but she ended up saying that he shares it. And Elena's hurt because she said at the end of the day, she said, I feel like because I was the breadwinner that this was just him maybe just being a little bit, you know, deceitful. And for a year, he kept this a secret. She said she found out after she went to buy equipment for her studio and he had to spill the beans that nothing's there. And not only is there nothing there, but she had to move out of her house. She had to basically downsize every damn thing. Now, look, you're not saying anything now, child, but when you was at that dinner table, you was like, girl.
I mean, no, you know, they edited that scene. That dinner was long as hell, number one. You know, I know you know, but like when we were filming stuff, like even the rodeo, we were there all damn day. We were over 24 hours almost there. And they bring it down to about 5 minutes, you know, but we definitely had a good conversation at the table. And I was just like, girl, what I mean, but you know, you still have to be tender with your friends. You want to be like you're attacking them. I'm like, well, I mean, is you going to divorce? I mean,
no,
you need to go live. I mean, what we gonna move together? Me, you, and Sophia. I mean, like, what's going on? Like, I didn't understand what was going on at first, but yeah, I definitely we had those conversations. But you know, at the end of the day, like again, like when somebody your friend, like you try to just, especially that's their first time really. Because honestly, I know they try to, maybe people don't believe this, but she really did not say any of this until we sat down at dinner that day. So everybody was like, what the hell?
I believe you. I mean, just based on how she was, you know, engaging you guys throughout the season, you could tell it was painful for her.
Yes, very.
And it was painful for her to even get it out on the scene. There's a part where she's talking about it in confessional where she literally takes this deep breath and she sighs. She's like, I am embarrassed. I am embarrassed that I lost everything. I'm embarrassed that I didn't have my finger on the pulse. And she said, I'm embarrassed that I knew I wasn't supposed to be here. Like, I think she felt like some part of that marriage she should have already had stepped.
Right.
It already should have left. And because she stayed in it, she felt like it was her fault. And that was just crazy. But anyway, we'll move on, child. But that was a great scene. Hey, welcome. Come on in, everybody. I appreciate y'all. Hit the like button. Show your love for Miss Rowe, who is coming over and hanging out with us today to do the review. But yeah, so the girls' trip, y'all went to the Vineyard. And
girl, I thought we was going to Miami or something. They was like, yeah, we going to Houston. I'm like, okay. They was like, this is the first season. Calm down.
This is the first season, right? We gonna drive right on up the street, okay?
It was about an hour and a half for where I live in the outskirts of Houston, so it's like an hour for me.
An hour for you, okay. But y'all ended up taking this wonderful girls trip to the Vineyard and closing out with all of that. And Elena had an opportunity. I guess she was a little melancholy. Maybe she just had her the conversation with her husband already.
No, so her tire. Oh, so on the way there, you know, we all drove there. Her tire popped or something happened to her tire on the way. And so that's the reason why she came in. She was just very you know, and Elena's usually like, to me, I feel like Elena's like this little rose that just floats in the air, you know, like a little piece of cotton and just so sweet and so nice and just always in a great mood. So when we seen her, we was like, we knew something was going on. And she was like, girl, my tire popped or something happened with her tire. And that's why she was feeling like that.
Oh, okay. Because when she came in, she seemed somber and everybody was like, what's wrong? She's not herself. But okay, so yeah, we're gonna get to this dinner scene. Well, was that the first thing that happened? Yeah, I think it was the dinner scene where she ends up telling y'all what happened between her and Josh.
Yeah, we went out on the patio first and like had drinks and talked a little bit, and then we had dinner that night.
And this was a real girlfriend's conversation because I was like, this is what we do when somebody is like, girl.
Right. It was.
Girl, what you say? Okay. So she ends up telling everybody, and Manira was like, I'm glad you got it out because you had this dark cloud over you. And child, then you chimed in and you was like, listen, you should have, I don't know how he got a room in the second house. He shouldn't be sleeping in.
My money, you got to get the fuck. I don't know about that one. Like what?
Get the stepping. Okay. You was like, you was being kind, giving him a room down the hall in the second house. But you guys were like, there's no forgiving this. Y'all were very, you know, understanding and saying, we get it now. Yeah. But she wasn't ready to hear that too much. She said,
you know, honestly, I don't think it really showed it, but she was very accepting of, I mean, of course, she maybe had her own feelings on the inside, but she was very accepting of what we said to her that night. It wasn't very much, like, even with me, because I'm like, girl, is you getting divorced? I mean, like, what's going on? She wasn't like, I ain't getting divorced. It was just like, you know, it's just something I'm going to think about and everything. So I just feel like I mean, her and Moo had their whole little situation at that moment, but I feel like, and then when Chloe say some shit, you just gonna be like, girl. She's like, I mean, what was it, strippers? I mean, what was going on? She was
We
like,
were
girl,
all
it was not
curious,
strippers, calm down.
after them 8 episodes, all kinds of people started chiming in on what it could have been. But yeah, you were like, do you want to stay in this marriage, or do you want to get a divorce? Like, what? How do you feel? In that moment, she said that she thought she wanted to work on it. She just wasn't in love. She wasn't in love with everything that happened. So that was tense.
We understood that too, because I think in the beginning I said that my baby daddy, I was like, or who was it? No, it just in general, I don't feel like I've ever been in love. I love people. I feel like Future sometimes, like I love all of them, but I'm not in love with anybody yet. So I feel like when she said that, I understood where she was coming from, but maybe others didn't.
Yeah, that was cool too. But anyway, those were like the biggest parts of the scene. But you all had an opportunity to wrap up what was going on with you in the season. I loved at the end how they gave us, what was happening for everybody next. What?
I'm not gonna lie. I was like, what? She left the basketball player? Like, all the stuff I do is like, she left her basketball player, and she's still consulting and stuff.
For you, it did talk about the basketball.
But whatever, it is what it is.
But I am curious. Let me ask you a few questions, because we didn't get the good wrap up. Because I know that you are called the queen of nightlife.
Yeah, it's funny.
So you're still in the nightlife industry in Houston, and from what everybody was saying at the beginning, they said that this is typically male dominated, but you have made a name for yourself, sister. So tell us how you actually got into the nightlife industry in Houston.
Well, I've been in the industry since I was 14 years old. I snuck and got a job at Hardee's in Baltimore. And then I had to get my mom and dad to sign the paper that I was 14 and 6 months, or whatever it was for the moment. So I've really been in the industry. I went from being a waitress, from doing that to being a waitress, to being a bartender, to being a manager, to a bar manager, a serve manager, to a GM, an AGM. Then I started consulting. Then I did promo, I did events. Like, I feel like I've been in this industry my whole life, so I've learned how to do all these different things. So then one day I was like, you know what? I want to just start a company, because I want work for free. Number one is crazy. I think I love put my work in for that part. But just, just making everything official. So in 2018, I don't know if I got fired or I quit, or both. It was a job I was at. I was like, I'm tired of this shit. I'm about to start my own job. My own company. And I did. And it was called Assessor or Consultant.
Okay.
And as time went on, I was like, it was just me only consulting then. But as I've grown it so much, I've started doing, events and parties. And I used to work for Rock Nation for like 3 years. And I did stuff for Duce, Ace of Spades for them as well. So I just was like, I just bring one thing together and just charge under my one umbrella to do these different things. So that's how I got here.
Okay. Cool. Like, what is your proudest moment in what you do, since you are making way for other women who are coming in behind you? What's your proudest moment in business?
Well, in my industry, I hire a lot of women. Like, I can meet one at Sprint, or I can meet one at the strip club, or whatever. And I can just be like, hey, I know it sounds like a pimp, but like, you ain't got to do this. Like, I can really show you how to make money, and you can go home with cash every night, and you don't have to like do these type of things. So I think my proudest moments is like, I have a lot of girls been working for me for about 6, 7, 8 years, or maybe longer. Some of them go off to go to college. Some of them go off, I help them how to start their own businesses. Like, some of them still work with me. And I feel like my proudest moments are when I see them like grow into who they are, and like who they're becoming as a woman, as a person. And I have one of my girls, she's a nurse now. I seen her at in my restaurant this weekend, and she was just like, you used to let me do my homework, and like you weren't mad at me. She's like, you didn't play. I would get in trouble. But you used to let me do my homework, and I ended up graduating, and now I'm here and I have my own family. I just want to let you know that all the times that you yelled at me, I appreciate it now. And I was like, stuff like that makes me feel good.
That's great that you are helping people, come in and do their thing. And it's also great that you're pulling people out the strip club, child.
They don't really, I feel like it's all one big industry, and I do go to the strip club. I do go off, at nighttime. And just sometimes I can see like I don't know, I can read people now, and I'd be like, hey, come to my restaurant, and come where I'm working at the moment. Have you ever been a bartender before? Because I bartended for about 10, 12 years out of my life. And I'm like, bartending is easy money. And if you're a server, people are gonna touch you. But if you're a bartender, can nobody touch you? There's a bar in between you. I mean, I can teach you how to do these things so you can make money. You won't make, $10,000 in a night from somebody throwing at you, but you're gonna make consistent money to be able to take care of yourself. So I just see it in people sometimes. I'm like, girl, come here, what you do?
Okay, let's shift gears a little bit. I'm gonna bring you back to Heart and Hustle Houston. Is there anything that happened that on set that you wish the cameras didn't catch?
Which one? For me, anyway.
I said that you had that moment when you had visited your good friend Chloe, and you were talking to her about your scare.
I know I didn't want to do that, right?
You didn't want to do that?
Hell no, I didn't want to take a princess on TV. I just knew that. So there's a scene that wasn't shown that I was sitting with one of my good friends. Her name is Kimmy. She filmed with me. And me and Kimmy are talking, and she was like, did you start your period yet? And I was like, huh? And she was like, did you start your period? I'm looking at her like this. I said, what you saying? I said, yeah, I started. She's like, why you didn't tell me you started your period? And I'm like, girl. So anyway, I know saying, let me go to the bathroom. Baby, they was like, look, it already came out. So what we gonna do? Pretty much. And they didn't force me to do it. It just was more of those, like, the story's already out. We have this scene. What are we gonna do from here, And I cried and boohooed, and I probably talked to the producers probably like a day, and I was like, all right, fine, I'm good, whatever. Because what I did do is I signed up to tell the truth about my life, and I signed up to be real about what was going on. And I didn't want to be the person that didn't. I can't be talking about somebody else like y'all being fake. Y'all ain't giving y'all real life, and here I am being fake about it. So I was like, fuck it, all right, I'll do it.
I understand that, child. I actually liked the scene. I thought that, again, I thought it was a real moment that the majority of women have. You know what I'm saying? So I just love that you came in with them dark ass shades.
Girl, I was like the Grand Reaper that way. It was like, because
I was like, no, she ain't walking in here. I was like, she is dressed in black. Chloe said, what is going on, child? Get some.
She was like, I'm like, what a weed, what a drinks at, and then she the door, she's like,
bitch. Exactly. And I also love all of your scenes with your twin, little Sophia. Oh my goodness, she looked just like you, okay? But such a cutie. How do you feel about bringing her on the show, and what do you hope that, later on in life she gets from seeing her mama on this TV show?
Sophia is such a big part of my life that, nobody wants to bring their kid on TV, because I'm a reality star girl. I've been watching, that's just what I do. That's why I knew a lot of who certain people were when we started talking about it. So, Sophia is such a big part of my life. Again, I feel like I would have been being fake not having her with me on this show, because everybody around me knows Sophia we gonna go out to eat. She gonna brunch. We gonna dress alike. Like, she's a big part of my life, and but I never really post her on Instagram because it makes me feel like I believe in like spirits and negativity and stuff like that. And Sophia has alopecia, and one of her bigger bullying moments was her alopecia situation, because Sophia went from this big curly hair, bush, to losing her hair in the front of her head. And that was something we battled with. And I didn't want her to go through that on TV either. But, God's blessings, when we started filming, her hair grew back. She was able to get her braids in her hair, and it's doing really good right now. But I was scared about that too. So, just bringing her on was like, it just made sense to me as long as she was comfortable with it. So again, people always say I talk to Sophia like she's a grown up. So I'm like, look, girl, do you want to be on TV or not? Because if you say no, you ain't got to. But if you're okay with it, they're going to ask you questions. Tell 99% the truth about stuff. Don't drop no names, and we're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
I would love to do that. She's just so proud of me. She's like my little me for real. But she's like, I would love to. I want to do anything to support you. And she's 12 saying this, So she was excited about it, and I was excited about it. Once I seen everything, like her alopecia and her being comfortable with it, was cool.
Well, we love to see you guys and what you experience in your journey, especially with motherhood. We're mothers, so we love to see all of it. So
girl, that's my mama. I don't know if y'all noticed that on TV. She's like, so what are we doing today? How's everything going? And I'm like, no, how's everything going with you?
Well, I did see her when you were talking about her grabbing that bag from the Uber guy. When you were like, she was like, I was like, not Sophia saying
right here.
We don't need this in our life, okay?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know. In my brain, I didn't know she was outside playing. I'm sorry, it went low. I didn't know she was outside playing. Like I knew she was upstairs, and then I heard was and like running with the bag like this. I'm like, oh my god, this just makes. I'm already having anxiety.
We loved it. I love seeing you guys. I love seeing Chloe and Nico, everybody and their children, and Pop. It was great to see all of you as mothers and parenting. So
everybody has great moms too. Like I don't know if they really showed that on the show, but like even though Chloe had her situation with Nico, that even at the Latoya's party, they just I don't know. I feel like they have a great like it's kind of like me and Sophia like just they have a good like type of friendship thing together. Even though that's his mom, but yeah, I like the way Labrina was with her son, and like I just even Elena, they didn't show her so much with her kids, but Elena and her kids, we had a party at the end, and they were just so much fun running around and stuff. I love everybody being a mom, and everybody to me is a great mom on the show.
I think you are too. I actually really enjoyed watching all of you. That was one of the things that I was like, I hope that nobody feels like, shy or they like, sometimes people on social media can attack you a little bit, but I hope y'all don't take any of that mess to heart because really there is no rule book. Like everybody is figuring it out as we go along. And it was just wonderful seeing. I love it.
Thank you.
I'm a wrap it up because I know that you can't stay for long, but if there was one thing that the viewers could take away from your first season, what would you hope it to be?
That you can just go through hell and end up being okay. I don't think they went too much into they went a lot in my life, but they didn't go too much into it. But this season for sure, I was completely honest about everything. Me wanting to quit my job, me getting pregnant or thinking I'm getting pregnant. Me getting into it with certain situations with Sophia at school, like all that stuff really happened in a matter of the months that we were filming. And, it was hard because imagine your life being completely perfect to you and your brain. And then as soon as you start filming, it's like everything just blow up in your face, So I just wanted to take the, you can just be yourself and you can go through things and you're going to end up okay in the end. Like just keep going, just be resilient and just keep going.
Okay. That's awesome. That's awesome. So we are all looking forward to you guys coming back, okay, for part 2. Are you excited about it? Or you want to move forward with the second season after the first filming?
Yeah, of course. I feel like this was like I just feel like this was the world been waiting on me. That's what I felt like. I'm already doing this. Like I feel like I always felt okay with the cameras around. Like it never was. I don't know, just nothing that I just don't the cameras never bothered me, honestly. So I would love to come back for a second season. Was great. Jesse Collins' production was great. Our producers were great. And granted, sometimes, we might be fighting against each other because, I'm like, this is my life. And they're like, would you have started to do this? So we have our moments or whatever. But everybody was really sweet, really nice. And I'm not no bullshit. I would be like, I couldn't stand this fucking process. Not everybody got on my nerves. But it really was a good process through everybody and everything between Owen and Jesse Collins. And if it stays like that, I'm down to do, season 10 down to that. So
awesome. Yeah. Well, I support. I'm going to be waiting.
We appreciate you
guys to announce the second season.
I'll tell you first.
Yes, but this was great. This was great. I'm happy that you were my first interview for the show. I really loved you guys. But yeah, thank you so much, Miss Rowe.
Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. All right, y'all. So I hope that you guys really enjoyed. Let me take this down. I hope you guys had an opportunity to learn a little more about Rowe and Heart and Hustle Houston. This was the first season of OWN's Heart and Hustle Houston. It's now available to stream on HBO Max. So I hope you guys have an opportunity to see it. I didn't want to get her in trouble with her castmates because they are real friends. So I'm not trying to pit anybody against each other. Thank you, Chronic, but I'll tell you guys the rest. So we let's hope that they get a season 2. Keep praying for it, and y'all make sure y'all go watch it on HBO Max. Go watch it on streaming. That way, they can see that those numbers are still coming in, and they can give them their second season. But yeah. So, anyways, I'm going to wrap up the rest of the review. Thank you so much, Ro. But yeah, y'all know we have been trying to figure out what was going on with Elena and everything. I just at the end of the season, at the end of that episode, they did say that Elena and Josh had parted ways. He had moved out of the house. But y'all, can you believe it? That's crazy. Come on in, everybody. Welcome to the chat. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button, share the video. Listen, I took my cue. I could see it. She said she doesn't want to get into anybody's business. What I could tell you guys is that they are real friends. They do really hang out with each other in real life, in real life. So everything that Elena was going through and what she decided to bring to the show, and I even told y'all that. I think last week when I did the review, I said, listen, I can tell just by watching some of the interviews that she was doing, she was really trying to, be as respectful as she could of her husband. He's still her husband, but it was something big, and she said that she would not have done it if he did not agree. So they had agreed before filming to bring that part of their story to the show. So right now it looks like he has moved out, but yeah, he dripped them pockets, child. He drained them pockets. Elena definitely worked it. This show has an exit plan. What did you mean by that? Tell me what you mean by that. She definitely worked it, this show, as an exit plan. Oh, you're saying that in case something happened, something else happened. Well, she was smart in the sense that if she decides to get any further in the story, she was smart in the sense that she recognized her husband did something major. When they come on to the season, she's already gotten rid of the first business that they had for years and years and years. And she had decided to open up a second studio in her name only. So clearly she knew what the hell she was doing, right? But the therapist, when they were in therapy, I told y'all she did that deep sigh. And she said that she is very upset. She's embarrassed with herself for not leaving sooner, If y'all watched the show I did yesterday where I talked about, there's a new show called Unlocked Family Secrets. I told y'all, shame will keep you in some shit. Shame will keep you locked into some shit that does not belong to you, okay? But because she didn't want anybody to know, she stayed in it. She stayed in it for way too long. And she admitted it. She said, she was like, I was like, if this doesn't tell us anything, clearly she knew something. I agree. And she admitted that. She admitted it. I stayed here for too long. I knew this shit was happening. I knew this probably wasn't where I was supposed to be. And I let him do something to me that, she probably could have prevented if she just would have pulled the trigger much earlier in their relationship. The first season was a great introduction to the ladies on the show. But yeah, Josh ended up saying to his wife, he said, listen, I wish I want to stay in this relationship. I'm hoping that you want to stay in this relationship, but if you don't, I understand. That's what he says while they were in therapy. He said, if you don't, I understand. And Elena says that she just doesn't know if she has the capacity. She says, I don't know if I have the capacity to stay. After everything that I stuck out with you, through the cheating, through all the shit that you've done to me since day one, when they were just, in the engagement phase. She said, I probably knew from the very beginning that I wasn't supposed to be here. And now she has to make a decision. Thank you, N. Johnson. Shame and guilt will keep you in spaces far longer than you ever need to be. And if we learn nothing else from reality TV or from anybody who is sharing their life, just know that when they get to a place where they can talk about it, don't shame them any further. We talk about it, but you know what I'm saying? It takes a lot to come out and say shit, right? Because you're afraid of what people are going to say about you. And that's literally what keeps you in it. But anyway, all the girls end up going to the vineyard for their girls' trip. Rose said she thought they were going to Miami or some shit, but they ended up going an hour away from Houston. But all the ladies were having, they were happy to be there. Elena actually says in this scene that she's never taken a girls trip before. She said her entire time of being with Josh, how long were they married? 20 something years. They were together for 20 something years, married for 15, something like that. She said, I've never been able to take a girls trip. I wasn't comfortable, and that her husband never made her feel comfortable enough to take a girls trip. And I have always said, when you are in relationships like that, where the husband doesn't want you to go outside, it's because he's outside, and he doesn't want, he doesn't want those liberated ladies to get in your ear, to get in your head and in your ear and start telling you things so that you can, make some moves, most importantly. But she said, I never got, I was never encouraged to take one. So this lady who built a business from the ground up, right? She has kids, she has this beautiful life. She knows all these movers and shakers. Hell, she's a mover and shaker. She still has this, relationship that is weighing on her, where she can't even do certain things. And this is important. This is all stuff that people need to hear. If you see yourself in situations like that, maybe them wheels will start spinning. But that's what she says. They end up talking some things out, and then they have this dinner. They have this dinner with Chef Seven. Chef Seven is, feeding the ladies, making them feel good about things. Chloe is flirting with Chef Seven, talking about, "Ooh, you look good," and basically letting them know she open to some things. Elena did not like Chloe flirting. This is another thing. Even though Elena has all this horrible shit happening in her life, her house is, burning down a little bit with her marriage. She still has very traditional values, very traditional thinking around dating and marriage and all the things. And she says to Chloe, "What are you doing? Aren't you in a relationship? What's this about?" Right? And Chloe's like, I'm single. I don't have no ring on my finger, right? And she was like, "Well, does Jordan know that? Is he okay with you out here flirting openly?" And Chloe was like, "I don't put all my eggs in one basket when I date, baby. You might, but not me." And in confessional, Chloe said, "Girl, go somewhere and heal," because everybody knows that Elena has problems in her house. So she's like, "Go somewhere and heal. Don't be putting your bad energy off on me." And that's when she basically lets the information out there that her and Josh went to therapy, and Josh actually ran her through the poorhouse. Everything that she had built by herself. Her husband was an owner in her business, but he was on the other side of it, right? She was the one who was making it happen. You know how much makeup you have to do to make hundreds of thousands of dollars, put that in a savings account? She said, "I was the breadwinner. I had everything. I was the one who made everything." But she tells this to the group, and they're all like, "Oh my God, you have to be lying to me." And they are very supportive of where she is. They're like, "Girl, thank you for telling us. Now we get it. Now we understand." Hold on, my earring is stuck. "Now we understand." But they're also, like a friend would do. "Why is that motherfucker still at your house? Why is he there?" When you had to downsize and all the stuff that they probably just thought was, maybe she just wanted to do this for herself. Because as Ro just said, she said she never told us anything about what was going on with her. But it looks like she did tell Munira about it, but she didn't tell the group as a whole. Elena's still very, very protective of that relationship. She was still very, very protective of it. And she ended up saying, "Listen, I don't know where, where we're going to go next, basically. I can tell y'all that I was very disappointed. I can tell y'all that I'm not in love with him. I'm not in love with him. He did something to me to the point of where I'm very protective of myself." She said she didn't love him. She also said she didn't trust him. And she said, "But I still want to work on it. I still want to work on it." But Ro was the one at the table. Ro was the one at the table like, "Fuck that." Okay. After everything that man did, he needs to be up out of there. And are you saying you want to stay in that relationship because you think it's something you have to do? Or do you really want to stay? Because we need to know where to support you at this point, girl, because he's done way too much, way too much. The cheating, all the other shit, and now he done bled you dry of your entire life savings. So that's a lot. Um, but yeah, everybody at the table was just like, they were in shock. Munira kind of lets everybody at the table know that her and Ro, or excuse me, that her and Elena did discuss it. Let me put the names up, child, because there's a lot of people to talk about. She said, when you were going through all of this, I'm happy that you're sharing this now, because when you were going through all of this, you and I were talking about it. And she said, you had a dark cloud over you, which put Elena into not the best of places, okay? Elena was like, girl, a dark cloud? She felt a way about her saying that. But the rest of the group kind of confirmed it. They were like, yeah, there was a lot that we could see. You was walking around with heavy energy, and people don't believe that that's true. But when you're going through some heavy shit, you do look like you're going through heavy shit. People can tell. Elena didn't think so, though, and she felt a way about Munira saying it. Munira was very clear, like there were moments where we could just tell you were going through too much. Everybody tries to share what they thought was happening and how they could see it, including Ro Child. Ro was very vocal in this scene. Even though she was letting us know that she was supportive, she was like, that scene went on for way too long. She was like the most vocal, I thought, when she was saying, we could see it too. I think it was Ro who said, girl, I was actually afraid to bring it up. I was afraid to bring it up because I could tell there was something wrong. But at this point, she's freed herself, okay? The next day, Elena actually confronts Munira about saying that she had a dark cloud around her. And she kind of punches back. She hits below the belt. She basically said that she wasn't sure about Munira's heart and if she was a real friend to her. Because when she was going through all that heavy shit, she said, you weren't checking on me the way you were supposed to. And Munira said, girl, I was damn near talking to you every day. And while I was, calling and checking on you, I never shared with you that I had 3 deaths in my family. I held on to that. I carried that on my own. You weren't even asking me what was going on with me while I was checking on you. And that's just a reminder. Sometimes you can get so dark and in your own shit that you forget that the person you're talking to might be having their own, personal journey. So she's sharing that with her, and they both kind of go back and forth with each other. Munira is the type of person that really likes to talk and explain things. But Elena, she can get with you when she's upset. Now, I told y'all before, I thought that Elena had this, kind of like a shrinking violet kind of thing. Like maybe she wouldn't tell you what she was feeling, but child, she strikes back. She's a little passive aggressive. In fact, they all strike back. They can all hold their own. Ro and Chloe will definitely get at you, but Elena gets at you too. Hey, Erica, welcome to the chat, girl. Nice to have you. But anyway, they do end up squashing the beef. In case we get, we had this second season, Munira said, listen, I love Elena. I do. And I want us to, be able to move forward and continue our relationship. But she said when Elena gets upset, she goes so low that she feels like maybe this is her real feelings. This is how she feels when she's striking out. So that was a good little scene. I really liked it. But again, they closed it out. The two of them hug. They share all of their feelings. They get it out. And they squash their beef. And then at the end, we get a little wrap up, a nice little wrap up of everything. Brina ends up giving all the ladies flowers, and all of the flowers have a different color. The colors are supposed to represent their journey, where they are in their life. It's supposed to represent them embracing their strength and also trusting the walk that they're about to take next. Hold on. Lady Blue said that she actually said that she experienced 7 consecutive deaths in her family. Okay, correction. So I said 3. Lady Blue said no. She said 7. So she said that while Elena was going through everything she was going through with Josh, she said she was calling, checking on her, she was sharing it, but she had, her own little storm that was happening in her life. And she said Elena had never asked once what was going on with her. Okay, so again, it just gives us some insight into the personalities, right? But Brina ends up giving everybody flowers and saying she loves everybody, that she's happy that, excuse me, they're all friends. And, that everybody got to trust their new walk in life, because we had some people who quit their job. We had people who, Chloe was questioning herself as a mother to Nico. She was like, girl, you're a great mama. Don't question that. Like, you are doing everything you're supposed to be doing right now. Okay. So it was all just really, they wrapped up the season real nice. And then they gave us a short little synopsis of what was going on in everybody's life next. So they said Brina, the lady who owns, was it 5 acres? 5 acres. She had, her storyline was her and her son, Pop, who had been going back and forth between her house and his biological father. She is expanding her spa. So things are going so great with her in that spa that she's expanding it. She's also launching a Pilates studio. So she got a new business that she's opening. She said that Pop has moved back into her household full time. So he's getting them grades back on track, playing football, doing all the stuff that he's supposed to do. And she's selling her 5 acres and upgrading to a 50-acre ranch. Okay. She said, Rose said, put him out, damn it. Put him out. Toria, y'all remember Toria actually quit her PR job during the season. She said that she's been there 16 years. She said, I'm done with that. I've done everything, achieved everything I needed to achieve with that business. So she's backing out of that. And she was supposed to move into her restaurant business, Rain, full time. And the synopsis says that she's even pulling back from Rain. She's not doing as much in the restaurant industry, but she is looking to start her family right now. So she's looking into adoption, okay? Munira is still a successful influencer, but she is going into therapy. She said that she needs to learn how to be more vulnerable. So she is going into therapy. Who else did they talk about? Elena and Josh I had already shared that with y'all. They are Splitsville. They are living in different houses. I don't know if they're still working on their relationship, but as of right now, she says she can't trust them and she's not in love with them. And people fall in and out of love with their partner during marriage. But she said that if they are going to work on it, they're going to have to work on it as long as he's the hell up out of there, okay? Thank you, Josie. I appreciate you, girl. Chloe and Nico are a work in progress. You need Chloe to leave the YNs alone. Okay, well, they're still Chloe and her son Nico are still a work in progress, which is understandable. She did say that her and Jordan are discussing marriage, but that Jordan and Nico have never met. Jordan and Nico have never met. So that's where we are at the end of the season. And then Rose said she didn't like the way the producers closed out her scene, saying that she's ended her on again, off again relationship with her b-ball player. She said that they could have left that out, but she is still consulting. So she has a consulting business and she is still consulting full-time, bringing in women in her industry. She says she hires the majority women to help in her industry or to do what she does, right? And she also said that she is in her soft girl era. So that is how the season ended. Y'all, I hope that we show our support, okay, with the brown skin girls. They work real hard to put their lives on TV and share their stories, motherhood, business, friendships, the whole nine. It's a lot. So I am happy that we get to see a different group of women come in. And if we give support here, new stories and new shows get to come in. So yeah, that was it. That was it. So I appreciate y'all for coming in and supporting me during this season of Heart and Hustle Houston, and also supporting the interview with Miss Rowe. Thank you again for coming through, y'all. That was it. That was it. So y'all, I'll see if y'all have any other questions. I think we wrapped it up, right? We did good. We wrapped it up. Anyway, y'all, that's it. That's all. There isn't anything else to share. But I do hope that y'all hit the like button and share the video. She got 50 now. 50 what? What are you saying, Barbara? 50 what? 50 what? Anyway, y'all, thank you for coming through. I appreciate y'all. Hit the like button, share the video, please and thank you. Follow me on all of my platforms at DYANAROZAY. Let me get my screen up here. I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. Thank you to the moderators who came through. I appreciate y'all as well. And until the next time, I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.